Imagine this, a man in a tailored suit, worth billions, stands on the edge of a fog-shrouded bridge at midnight, the city lights twinkling mockingly below like distant stars he's long since stopped reaching for. His fingers grip the cold railing, heart pounding, ready to let go of it all. But then, a small voice cuts through the wind, a voice from a girl in ragged clothes, barely visible in the shadows. What she says next doesn't just save his life, it shatters his world and rebuilds it from the ground up. If this story grips you from the start, hit that like button right now to let me know, and subscribe for more tales that remind us why we're all connected in this crazy journey called life. Now, let's dive in. Alexander Voss had everything money could buy, or so the world thought. At 45, he was the CEO of Vostech, a conglomerate that dominated the tech industry with innovations in AI and renewable energy. His penthouse overlooked Manhattan, his private jet waited on standby, and his bank accounts held more zeros than most people could fathom. But beneath the glossy facade, Alex was hollow. His days blurred into endless board meetings, hostile takeovers, and superficial galas where smiles were as fake as the diamonds on display. He'd built his empire from nothing, orphaned at 15 after a car accident claimed his parents, scraping by in foster homes until he coded his first app in a dingy library. Success came fast, but it came alone. Marriages crumbled, 2 ex-wives who cited his absenteeism, and friendships faded into acquaintances who only called for favors. Lately, the weight of it all pressed down like an invisible anvil. A recent scandal, where a whistleblower accused Vostech of unethical data mining, had tanked his stock and his reputation. The headlines screamed billionaire fraud, and even his closest advisors distanced themselves. That night, as rain slicked the Golden Gate Bridge, he'd flown to San Francisco on a whim, seeking escape. Alex decided it was enough. No note, no drama, just a step into the void. From the other side of the bridge's pedestrian walkway, Lily Ramirez watched the world with wary eyes. At 12 years old, she was small for her age, her frame thinned by hunger and hardship. She lived in a cramped shelter with her mother, Maria, who worked 3 jobs as a cleaner but still couldn't afford rent after Maria's husband abandoned them years ago. Lily's days were a grind, school in the mornings, where bullies mocked her threadbare uniform, then afternoons scavenging recyclables or busking with a battered guitar her dad left behind. But Lily had a spark, a quiet wisdom born from watching her mother's unyielding hope. Maria always said, Corazon, the richest people are those who give without expecting back. Lily clung to that, even on nights like this, when she'd snuck out to the bridge to think, staring at the water that seemed to whisper promises of peace. She wasn't suicidal, she was just tired. Tired of the eviction notices, the empty fridge, the way her mom's hands cracked from bleach. As she huddled against the wind, she spotted the man in the suit, his posture screaming despair. Something in her stirred, a mix of fear and that innate pull to help, the way she'd once talked a classmate out of running away. Alex's mind raced as he climbed over the railing, the drop yawning below. Memories flashed, his parents' laughter, the first $1 million deal, the empty echo of his mansion. What was the point? Billions couldn't buy back lost time or mend broken souls. He closed his eyes, inhaled deeply. Wait. Mister, if you jump, who's gonna fix the stars? The voice was soft, tentative, slicing through his fog like a beam of light. Alex froze, 1 foot dangling. He turned his head slowly, seeing a girl no older than a tween, her dark hair matted by rain, clutching a plastic bag that looked like it held her worldly possessions. She stood a safe distance away, eyes wide but steady. What? He muttered, voice hoarse from disuse. The stars, she repeated, pointing upward where the fog parted just enough to reveal a smattering of lights. They're all messed up tonight, like they're crying too. But my mom says everyone has a job to make things better. If you go, who's gonna do yours? You're dressed like you got important stuff to fix. Alex blinked, the absurdity hitting him. Here he was, a titan of industry, being lectured by a street kid about stars. But something in her words hooked him, innocent, yet profound. He didn't step back immediately, but he didn't let go either. "Kid, you don't know me. My life's a mess. Money doesn't fix everything." Lily took a cautious step closer, her sneakers squeaking on the wet pavement. "Yeah? Well, no money fixes nothing either. My mom's got none, and she still gets up every day. Says life's like a bridge, you cross it one step at a time, even if it's shaky." She paused, tilting her head. "What's your name?" "I'm Lily." "Alex," he said automatically, surprised at his own response. Why was he talking to her? But the bridge felt less lonely now, the wind less biting. They talked, or rather, she talked, and he listened. Lily shared stories of her life without self-pity, the time she found a stray dog and nursed it back to health with scraps, only for it to run off, how she dreamed of being a singer but practiced in alleys because the shelter was too noisy, the way her mom made birthdays special with handmade cards instead of cake. Her words painted a picture of resilience, of finding joy in the cracks of hardship. Alex, in turn, found himself opening up, first in grunts, then sentences, then floods. He spoke of his parents' death, the relentless climb to the top, the isolation that fame brought. "I thought success would fill the hole," he admitted, still perched on the edge but now facing her fully. "But it's just made it bigger." As minutes stretched into an hour, the rain eased, and a patrol car passed without noticing them, perhaps fate's gentle nudge. Lily's empathy was a balm. She didn't judge his wealth or his woes. Instead, she challenged him, "So, if you're so rich, why not use it to help people like us? That'd fix your stars, right? Make 'em shine again." Those words lingered. Alex stepped back over the railing, legs shaky, heart raw. He looked at Lily, really looked, saw the bruises on her arms from carrying heavy loads, the determination in her gaze. "How do I start?" he asked, voice breaking. She smiled, gap-toothed and genuine. "With one step. Come with me. Mom's probably worried." What followed was a night that blurred the lines between worlds. Alex followed Lily to the shelter, a rundown building in the city's underbelly. Maria, exhausted from her shift, eyed him suspiciously at first, a stranger in a suit showing up with her daughter. But Lily explained, and Maria's wariness melted into cautious welcome. Over instant noodles in their tiny room, Alex listened to Maria's struggles, medical bills from a chronic illness, the fear of losing custody if things got worse. For the first time in years, Alex felt seen, not as a billionaire, but as a man. He offered help tentatively, not wanting to overwhelm. "I could arrange for better housing and medical care." Maria shook her head initially. "We don't take charity, senor. But if you mean partnership, teach Lily something. She's smart, needs opportunities." And so, the challenges began. Alex didn't just throw money at them, he immersed himself. First, the immediate hurdles. He used his connections to secure a modest apartment for Maria and Lily, but insisted they work with him on a plan. Lily enrolled in a better school, with Alex tutoring her in coding. Her quick mind absorbed it like a sponge. But it wasn't smooth. Alex faced his own demons, therapy sessions he finally committed to, unraveling years of suppressed grief. The scandal at Vostek loomed. Investors pulled out, forcing him to downsize and refocus on ethical AI. Relatable doubts crept in. Was he just playing savior to ease his guilt? Lily called him out one day, during a coding lesson. "You're not fixed yet, Alex. You gotta believe in yourself first." Maria's health scare added tension, a flare-up that landed her in the hospital. Alex covered the bills anonymously at first, but Maria discovered it and confronted him. "This isn't about money, it's about trust." That night, they talked deeply, Maria sharing her immigrant story, fleeing poverty in Mexico for a better life, only to face new walls. Alex confessed his fear of vulnerability, how wealth had become his armor. Through tears and laughter, bonds formed. Lily, the bridge between them, grew too, facing bullies at her new school who called her charity case. She stood up, inspired by Alex's turnaround. Money doesn't make you better, heart does. Months passed, the plot thickening with real-life twists. Alex restructured Vostech, launching a foundation for underprivileged kids in tech, with Lily as the first mentee. Challenges mounted, media scrutiny painted him as opportunistic, old rivals sabotage deals, and personal setbacks like a relapse into isolation. But resolutions came through connection. When Alex nearly backed out of a major presentation, Lily's words echoed, "Fix the stars." He pushed through, dedicating the launch to her and Maria. Maria's recovery brought joy, and she started a community group for single moms, funded partly by Alex but run by her vision. 1 year later, on that same bridge, Alex stood not in despair but gratitude. Lily, now 13 and thriving, walked beside him, Maria trailing with a picnic basket. "See? Stars are shining," Lily said, pointing up. Alex nodded, eyes misty. "Because of you." The story doesn't end there. It's a reminder that true wealth isn't in banks but in hearts we touch. No matter your station, one act of kindness can change everything. If this tale moved you, smash that like button and subscribe for more stories that inspire hope and action. Remember, you're never alone on your bridge. Reach out, and watch the stars align.